Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be talking about how to get boxes, all of the different methods that you can get them, and then talking about the best ways and my favorite ways to get boxes. First of all, probably the easiest method is just go to the box menu and you can simply buy a box directly. You can just go in here, buy one for unobtainium. This is somewhat ineffective as the box price is a little bit high and you can easily get the boxes by just grinding for them. You can also get boxes from the Masked Man in Unreal bundles of 5 for 75 Robux and single Infernos for 25 Robux apiece, which similarly to the UC for boxes is quite ineffective. You can also get boxes via codes that Brazer releases. This is also somewhat ineffective as you've got to wait for the codes to be released, and usually the codes don't give more than 1 or 2 Infernos max. Sometimes they'll give 2 or 3 Unreals. There was one that gave, I believe, 4 regulars. For the most part though, codes aren't going to be your best bet. You can also get boxes from daily gifts, which depending on your game passes can be pretty good, but that requires you to spend a lot of Robux, and you can only get a maximum of 2 daily gifts a day if you buy a second one. This is a good way to get boxes as it's free if you don't buy a second one, but it's definitely not a good way to get boxes quickly. Next up is research crates, which will spawn randomly around the map. You can just walk into them. They have a chance at giving you a box. If you have premium, you can get clovers. Right there, I just got a regular box from it. And you can just run around and collect these guys. They can give research points, boxes, unobtainium, lucky clovers, all of that good stuff. This is a decent way to get boxes quickly, especially if you're unable to rebirth quickly. Which brings me into my next point, rebirthing. Rebirthing is probably the best method to quickly get boxes by far, as you're able to get very quick Infernos. Every time you rebirth, you have a 1 in 6 chance of getting an Inferno. This goes up with the lives that you skip. So if you skip 5 lives, or the equivalent of 6 rebirths, you have a 100% chance to get an Inferno. And this scales based on how many lives you skip. Meaning, if you're at a low life, you can Dreamer's Anguish and Dragonglass mine, and you'll be rebirthing very quickly, meaning you have a pretty good chance at getting Infernos. You can also life skip, which is a little bit slower, but gives you a high chance to get Infernos. And depending on how fast you are at your rebirthing, you can get Infernos very quickly. I have 306 and I've gotten almost all of them by rebirthing. This is definitely the most effective method, and if you're grinding for boxes, I recommend doing this over all else. Like I said before, if you're unable to rebirth quickly, for whatever reason, then you can also crate farm. Just run around, wait for them to spawn in, go and collect them. That will work, but it's definitely not as effective as rebirthing. And there's one more method that I almost forgot to mention, and that is you can use the Flying Dutchman. This is an exotic furnace, so I imagine most people won't have it, but if you do, you're able to get boxes and clovers with it. You need to let it run for 30 minutes, and it needs to get 1,000 well-upgraded ores into it. And well-upgraded only requires 11 upgrades, so you can use an Overlord device or True Overlord device along with a portable flamethrower. That'll upgrade your ores enough to be accepted, and after 30 minutes, if 1,000 ores make it in, you'll be able to earn a box or a clover. This can only give regular boxes, so it's not the most effective. But if you have 5 like I do, it can be decent for AFK farming. The way I usually use it is set it up with a research point farming setup, let it run overnight, and you can get a decent amount of boxes and clovers with it. But the most effective method is definitely by rebirthing. You can buy them with UC, somewhat ineffective. You can buy them from the Masked Man, again somewhat ineffective. You can get them from codes, which can be good, but for the most part is ineffective. Won't get you boxes quickly. You can get them via your daily gift. This is good as it's free, but won't give you boxes that quickly. You can get them from research crates, which you can get fairly commonly. You just gotta wait for them to drop. This is probably the second fastest method to get boxes. And then you can also get them via rebirthing, which is the fastest method. Will get you Inferno boxes, and depending on what your setup is, get them to you very quickly. And of course, the Dutchman, which is a setup most people won't be able to do, and is somewhat ineffective unless you use it to AFK farm, like I use it in a research point setup, making it somewhat effective. That's all of the ways I believe that you can get boxes. If I missed a method to get boxes, leave it in the comments. Go ahead and let me know. I don't think I forgot anything though. This has been how to get boxes quickly in Miners Haven. Rebirthing is the best method. That'll be your quickest way to get boxes. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.